It's the 6th of May and I thought I'd have a little look around the greenhouse to see what's growing on in here before it goes down to the allotment. Excuse me. We've delayed planting a few things because it's very dry, but we're going to have to bite the bullet and get things planted now or they're going to go over. Down this side of the greenhouse is one of the things I'm talking about. These dahlias are going to have to go into the allotment. They're just planted in some compost and covered. They were covered over winter with some wood chippings. There's a bit of compost on top this spring, but they're all growing and it's time to get them down to the allotment. I'm just not quite sure how I'm going to get them down there, but they will have to go down the allotment. Moving on. Our leeks. They are below, no they're not, yes they are blue soleils. In the next one across they are giant winter. Below zero in there. And finally some called Porbella in that one. They will grow on in those tubs and then be planted in the allotment later on. Under these trays are sweet corn. They only went in the other day, so they're not going to be up yet. That spider plant there has managed to survive in the greenhouse over winter, as that geranium has as well. In those 4 trays are more sweet corn. In this box below, some lettuce. It's done really well. So that one in the corner is Marvel of 4 Seasons, and we're going to have that this week, see what that's like. And these red ones are called Ochres. Haven't any more seed left of those. I think I just lost it rather than anything else. A bit careless, but have to have a look. Looks really nice. Moving on to the other side, a couple of trays of Bonat beetroot there. They'll be planted out in the allotment as soon as possible. Moving on, a few house plants, and then they are turnips. They will be planted in one of the brassica beds up at the plot as soon as. In there are Zebrun shallots. They've been a complete failure this year. You can see virtually nothing's germinated, and what's germinated isn't growing. Next along, more beetroot, so we should be all right for beetroot this year. And then in that tray are the annuals. They're called tall cut flowered mixed, and the germination very poor, very sporadic. No wonder we can't get things to go in those when we put them in the allotment, if I can't get them going down here. Next tray along underneath we've had dianthus and petunias, and the petunias have struggled to germinate down here. I've got some inside that are looking much better, and those dianthus, well, at least some have germinated, growing very slowly though. They are cherry tomatoes, sweet million I think they're called. And finally on this top shelf there's 2 trays of Clapton cauliflowers there. Again, once they grow on a bit they'll be going down to the allotment. Having a look down below, we've got 2 tubs here with some herbs and salad type stuff. So in this one, basil, which you can see is coming up. And in that section, coriander that isn't coming up, and it was sown the 26th of April, so quite a while ago now. In this tray we've got a row of radishes down the middle, mixed radishes, and then there should be a row of spring onions either side, and the spring onions are just beginning to come up. But I did have a leak of basil out the bottom of the packet. As you can see, they're coming up. There, I might have to try and transplant those. Moving along, we've got some Red Baron onions in there, and then the best few shallots I've got are in that tray there. So we have some, but just not very good. We've got 2 trays of broad beans there that need to go into the allotment fairly quickly, or they're going to spoil. Then I'm having to put things on the floor because I'm a bit short on space. So we've got a tray there. I might have to have a look, see what's in. So cauliflowers, purple sprouting broccoli that's supposed to be an early one in the middle, and some cabbage cabeece. 3 courgettes in there. They're the climbing ones, those trombocenas that we had last year. Moving a bit further along. There are those 2 trays there. They're Brussels sprouts, a variety called a Brody. And then in that tray we've got cauliflower, purple sprouting broccoli and cabeece, like in that other one. Parsley in there, went in the same time as that coriander and basil, no sign of that coming up yet. We've got 2 mint plants that are doing really well, and we are going to try and freeze some of this mint rather than let it go to waste. And finally, a look along the back of the greenhouse. We've got cucumbers, pepinecks, normal size cucumber, and mini munch, small ones. We've got some skipper cauliflowers and calibos red cabbage, and some Calabrese Ironman. All looking pretty good, just about ready for pricking out. We've got some gazanias in there and apoemia in there. Next batch of lettuce in there is ready to go out, or it's got a few weeks in there, hasn't it, before it be moved on. Some Red Baron onions that never got moved on, but they're growing quite well in there. A tray of cosmos, a couple of spare tomato plants, some more annual flower seeds in there, early flower mixed in there. They're coming up much better, but I can understand why we have problems getting them to germinate just thrown in the allotment. More onions in there, and another batch of shallots at the end that didn't really germinate. First sowing of parsley's doing alright, probably will need freezing fairly soon. Then we've got some tomato plants here and some pepper plants, which are called Midas, I think. And then on this shelf we've got our main tomato plants, which will be growing on in this greenhouse, the plot greenhouse, and some will go outside if we've any left. But they're looking pretty good to me. Survived any cold nights in the greenhouse, so hopefully they'll go on and produce us some decent tomatoes. So I think that's it then, a quick look round the greenhouse at the beginning of May with lots of stuff coming on to go down to the allotment. So thanks for watching, bye for now.